Okay, just almost finished sparkling for today. This is just a nice quickish Saturday or Sunday job. I'm fitting a pulsing tail light unit for the LED rear. So I've got one of these, a GS-100A. You can find these things off eBay, Amazon, Alibaba, AliExpress, wherever you want. They're not very expensive. I think they were about maybe $3.50 US, maybe $4, somewhere around there. Not particularly expensive. And so here's my Concourse 14. And I thought at this point it would be a good idea, or good point to share this with you. So having removed the pack rack and then this piece, was able to actually get into this area behind. The brake light cable naturally goes in there and gets pegged down into here, so you can remove it from there to pull the whole thing out and give yourself something to work with. In this little boot at the back, the cable boot, you'll also find an auxiliary set of cables if you ever need power at the back. That's these bullet connector sets here. So they're 12 volt switched with the ignition, which is very handy back here. So if you ever do need any, they're there. And the brake light one is the one which is black, and I think it's a little yellow, black and yellow, blue and red. Now, the black and yellow is ground, the blue is your brake light, and the red is the rear travelling light, which is always on when the ignition's on. So what you need to do is you need to unplug this, take it out, put it on the bench, and then cut a little bit of the sheathing back and give yourself a little bit of exposed area. These things here have got two red wires and two black wires. It's got an inside and an outside. The outside is intended to go towards your brake light, the in towards the bike. You can take both of the blacks and you can put them together, and you can just sort of separate that black wire. I actually cut it and then split both sides back, and then wired both of the blacks in with both of those sides of the black once I'd cut it. So all four of the black ends go together, and then you put a cut into the blue in our case. Do check your own bike. Your bike may be slightly different from this one. This one is a 2013 model of the C14. So yeah, I split the blue, trimmed them back, and then I put the red in to the plug side and the red out to the taillight side. Okay, and then I wrapped it all up pretty neatly with electrical insulation tape, and I also used some heat shrink on those connections too before I wrapped them, so they're actually quite solid. I took all of this over to the bench so I could actually solder them. I don't trust just wrapping wires with tape. That's not what we do. So soldered them up, heat shrink, and then electrical tape around the outside. So the effect of it now, I'll just show you when I turn it on. You get your normal travelling light, and then when you brake, you get flash, 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 and then on solid. So flash, 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 and then on solid. So obviously, doesn't matter which switch you use, front or back brake, it doesn't matter, it's all the same, but you start to get that nice pulsating intensity coming out the back to grab someone's attention that there's some braking going on up front. If I'd have known where everything was and what colours were and everything else, might have been a 20-minute job. I started to try and take fairings off on the sides to see whether I could get in and have a look and see where things were. I didn't know the location of the boot back there. I'm sure that there are other C14 videos online. I should have checked and I should have looked at them first. But yeah, now the other thing I did was I just temporarily removed that from the seat locking mechanism bolt area here, just to give me more access while I was working on the wiring. So that's going to go back on, obviously. The tail light needs to be refitted, and then the back. It shouldn't take me more than another 10 or 15 minutes and it should all be back together. Sweet!